Hello and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire in Fontus, some aliens Mayhem. We're on basically the end of turn 100. Right now we're third on the podium, so we were actually earlier, we were up at second. Number 2 did manage to overtake us, although that's not due to us declining, I think that's due to them expanding. A lot of territory and even a reasonable amount of population is unclaimed on this planet. It is plausible for any one civilization, technically, I suppose, run off with it right now with what's being claimed. So our plan is to kind of make that difficult for any of them to do. We're also trying to catch up in technology, which is why in construction we're building a lot of bureaucratic offices. In practice, there is one more level that we can build without having to start putting them in our colonies. And our colonies, to be fair, need more workers. So we don't really want to put them in the colonies, because otherwise we're going to have worker shortages in those colonies. I think we're going to try to expand over to here. We have a territory, an aligned area, a protectorate here, rotors. So we got rotors and rotors. So that should be reasonable territory to take over, although it is a bunch of marsh. The pain that is marsh. So yeah, and at this point, tech-wise, we're working through heavy industry. It'll be really nice to get heavy industry going. Working through RPG, which is the second of the 4 we need in chemistry to get to metal soil filtration. Once we have RPG, we can discover guided RPG, and it's probably guided in hydroponics, and we'll make the other 2 for the 4 in chemistry, so we can get to the metal soil filtration. We're also looking for combat armor. Once we've got combat armor, combat plus Gauss is basically the next tier of our infantry. Combat armor plus RPG is the next tier of the RPG infantry, so on and so forth. I suppose technically this plus this is also the next tier of the machines. So we do want to find combat armor as well. As far as ecotechs, we do have sealed roads discovered, so we can at some point research that. Although I think I will try to do hydroponics first, so we can get the 4 in chemistry. So that said and done, I think we're roughly where we want to be to end the turn here. One thing I could do if I was really trying to grind the gears is I could start. We just finished the bureaucratic office area. We could continue expanding that. We'll delay that 1 turn just to make sure that this one finishes. And really, that's the only expansion we've got bureaucratic office-wise, unless we're going to put it in the colonies. So let's cycle that turn. I'm going to be having to be aware of the diplomatic status of these guys here. They were previously at war with us. We currently actually have them probably as the most friendly faction. They're also the score leaders, so they're the people we want to fight if we're going to fight anyone. Although, what is making them the score leader and what they have here on our continent are not the same thing, right? They've got territory elsewhere across the ocean. That territory, I think, is far more valuable than the 2 ports they have over here. I think they have a port, and I think one of the other factions set a port up, and I think they took it over. So there's basically 2 ports over here that may have a small amount of population in them, because of how the AI does colonization. But they're not going to be like major city level locations. So we want to be paranoid about the location. That is where we want to expand if we're going to expand on our own continent. The big difference and why we're not trying to piss them off right away is we know we're behind in tech. Specifically behind them. We know they're 1 tier ahead of us, basically, on the infantry. And if they weren't at war with the world, that would be a problem. They are pretty much at war with the world, I think. Adams Range Imperium, round 101. We have 2 decisions. That crisis of violence is continuing. It's almost over. We've discovered medium tanks. We've discovered the Oob for light armor. Got another 0 retirement. In a favor of major diplomacy, might actually pull this a little bit back toward the minor.
Sir, yes, sir.
Because we now have a state of peace. I'm going to go ahead and develop that medium tank. So we'll make a blueprint so we can idea what we want. So medium tank, I'm thinking we want this for anti-infantry duty. So let's say the 105mm howitzer. Decent starting point. We probably want to run 50mm plate at least on the biggest engine. That's an acceptable AP cost. We're not going to be able to afford the mobility penalty on anything higher than 50, it looks like. We're able to run a little bit more armor when we get polymer, but this is what we're going to be running until we have polymer. That sounds fine. Okay. And 105mm is enough penetration to fight all the infantry. Beldress is 100mm armor, so this should work. For beating up infantry, at least.
Order received.
I think I may have run... we might be able to see if we look at models. Our existing models. I may have run the medium or the light tanks as anti-tank vehicles. To be fair, we're only looking at anti-tank or at 60mm or 50mm armored tanks, so 60mm. Yeah, we did 60mm high velocity. Usually, I maybe do this the other way around, where I do the anti-tank gun on the medium tanks, but at the moment, the only tanks we see are medium or light tanks, rocking the 50mm steel plating. Let's check to make sure our construction has proceeded at speed. The port is done. The bureaucratic office is done. Given the fact that the port is done, I suspect we're going to want the port to be better. Minor suspicions. So let's queue up an upgrade to that port.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
I suspect I'm going to want this bureaucratic office to be better.
Understood.
Let's get that upgraded. We've got colonists. We're having worker issues there. We're having civilian issues there. So yeah, probably wants to go there. Maybe a debate whether or not I want to dump it on as actual workers or private. And I'm hoping that it turned things back on. And that's why it's limiting workers. I think it has, and I think it's focusing on food. Okay. Let's split the difference. It only needs 300 workers. So we'll give it 300 workers.
Affirmative.
Lump the rest as population. Because it definitely needs more population.
Affirmative.
There we go. And then I do want to raise... I might not be able to deploy it here, but we'll see. 1 light infantry brigade. For deployment overseas. And given that, I think it is time to be looking at a overseas route. Transport contract on that ocean will show up next turn. Okay. Meantime, metal's going up, industry's going up. We actually have quite a bit of industry. I'm going to wait one turn just because I know the port eats a bunch on construction. And 220 a turn. That's not too bad. We'll wait a turn, see... Also, it requires workers, so we'll basically let it hire up for those workers, and then we'll start probably expanding the factory. Expand the industry. Because at this point, I'm looking a lot happier with my metal and looking a little bit less happy with my industry. We are going to be wanting to seal the roads up, and we are going to be wanting to build rail. Rail is metal, yeah. Oh, this is actually a good time to put the rail in, so we'll slap this rail in right now. The logic being, there's a bunch of swamps in here, and the swamps make it expensive to build rail. The swamps right now are frozen, so this is good time to build that rail connection. Do we want to delay until we have high speed? No, I'm gonna be fine with what we've got. Okay. So now that I have that in, I'm gonna start the rail station, and then we'll build a railhead over here as well. And then we should see if everything is stable. Yeah, should see if everything's stable. Obviously, in the future, we're going to want a rail connection out to there. We're going to want a rail connection down to here. Probably going to want a rail connection out to the front. All 4 directions, basically. Of course, that requires metal and industry, and we don't have all of that. Political power-wise, is there any cards I want to play right now? Tempting to grab the scientist. You know what, let's grab the scientist. See what we got in the reserve pool now. The beta patch. I'm not currently playing on the beta patch. The patch notes with the beta patch say one of the things that the beta patch does is we immediately, when you play a leader card like that, it takes you to the leader right away. So I'm assuming this is the scientist because he has no, or she has no opinion drift from the turn. So that implies they're new. Has inventor, has trade, has admin, organization tasks, and all design tech discoveries on a camp 3. So yeah, pretty good for research jobs. Let's look at our current cabinet. I'm thinking either replacing the Eco Council. There's a Camp 1 lower end. That's definitely an argument there. Might be worth replacing the Eco Council or the Military Research Council. Science Inventor. Camp 2 though, so they're gonna get better quicker. Yeah, I think we're gonna override you, so we're gonna call you up. I'm going to relieve you. I'm going to say other job, because I don't know if the job's going to be any better. And yeah, we will probably get them another job. I might actually assign them as an advisor. I might actually get one of their advisors here to retire. Camp 2 is not super good. Yeah, let's relieve you. You're not getting a job. Sorry. Tank here, we're gonna go ahead and try to retire. Tank has served us long enough, even though they really haven't been doing anything, that we will retire them with a pension. Or at least attempt to retire them with a pension.
Roger that.
Okay, that did not work. We still have them targeted. They actually got a pretty high difficulty, so we might swap over to a better retirement like gold. Yeah, I'll let them with the gold.
Roger that.
There we go. That sorts out our deployments there, so let's cycle the turn. And yeah, I decided to do the rail connection now, because the previous time we looked at it was like 50,000 iron and more industry than it would cost. I'm looking at it now, it's like, because the marshes are frozen over, it's much cheaper. So instead of having to gamble on it being a turn when the marshes are frozen over, it's just like, no, slap it in now. Might not be the ideal time to put it down in the build order that I'm thinking, but it was a workable time, so we're going to see how that plays out. There we are, round 102. We have 9 decisions awaiting us. Vigilante Justice, that's not good. Danger Tester, better. Should disappear in 2 turns, okay. Another militia project, that's nice. UN Enforcement to go to 71. I accept. Appoint an advisor. We have the person we want for the new job. And the person that... You might have been the person who previously had it. No, the person we previously had it is 1 capacity. We'll come back to the other one. Director for the Economic Council. We've got the new person. And the person who previously held it. No, this is a different person. This is the third person. Presumably the one who previously held it is this one. Yeah, that one. Okay, so you're getting this job. We cleared the job specifically for you. That pops us back over here. Oh, interesting. I was assuming that it would we'd have this person as an available choice. I could overrule them and put that person in at the cost of political power. We'll come back to that. Minor worker strike. We'll take some democracy. Vigilante justice.
Understood.
Full support to mitigate it. Critical success. That's great. Request that I help. This is expel people, so no.
Understood.
Okay, so we're trying to decide where we want to send. So that would work. It's not really where we want to go. That would work. That's not really where we want to go. That's where I was thinking of landing. So we may go with that one. And these are all going to be beach unloads. We obviously don't want to land on our own territory. Because we want to set off from our own territory and land elsewhere. That's the port we want to start. Okay. So yeah, I think landing on that road is perfect. And then obviously embark from ourselves. And... oh, interesting. They don't have a lot of shipping capacity right now. So it's a bit expensive. And that's not a lot of capacity. I'm going to pay the big bucks, just so we can have a long duration.
Sir, yes, sir.
Unit decision. Yeah, probably want to put one of you in charge of this unit. Put you in charge of the unit.
Sir.
Then we've only got 2 choices, so the person we promised another job can get the advisor job.
Yes.
There we go. Construction-wise, new projects were delayed. We'll see if they stay delayed or not. Workers are continuing to quit, which is not ideal. Although the civilian population is growing. Okay, so we're gonna plop in 300 new workers. Try to
Affirmative.
keep the workers at full. And the rest of these going in civilians.
Affirmative.
Okay, it's beginning to come back online because it's not got enough workers that it's not super complaining. And I think strategic command or strategic move wise, we gotta wait until the next turn, so they should be able to be shipped across next turn. Yeah. Okay. Let's do some efficiency drive. Let's do an
Roger
efficiency
that.
drive. Rounds up some cash, effectively. Hopefully this will be a big enough shipping route that I can actually ship through it. Because it's going to be a bit disappointing if I can't get any infantry across. Because we don't have a port at either end. There are ways to get the cost down and get the maximum capacity up. Although, they're not necessarily cheap and they do cost us resources to do. I assume the problem initially was going to be port capacity on my end, not of boat capacity on the shipping in the Maritime Trading House end. So we'll have to try solving that over the next couple turns if that continues to be an ongoing problem. Okay, shouldn't come around to us. Round 103, we have 5 decisions. We've completed RPG. We have discovered guided RPG, okay. We'll take the
Understood.
One civilization score to go up. We'll accept, because that's an easy enough choice to agree to. Discovery versus research. Probably from a discovery standpoint, I've discovered what I need to right now. The only thing I maybe would like to find is housing. So we're on a research binge right now, I suppose.
Copy that.
Military, we're gonna jump to guided.
Understood.
Let's do the light armor.
Affirmative.
Then we check strategic move. Oh, I'm only gonna be able to send one across the turn. Ow. Well, that's enough for me to play the makeshift post to prove unloading.
Copy that.
Oh, and you're just credits. Yeah, I should probably roll this for more ships for them.
Copy that.
And of course, I only had 1 ship building, so 4 more ships, that should help with the shipping. Or at least the ability to request more shipping in the future. Okay, you've got the net workers you need. You do not. People are still migrating away from you. Although we are shipping them in quicker than they're shipping out.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
And yeah, this guy will probably grab the hexes around him. And we'll ship the next one over. Actually, I might not be able to ship the next one over. We'll see. Do we still have delays? Yes, we still had some delays. Although they should be cleaning up. The railhead's done. The rail station should finish next turn. This is what I get for throwing so many things out at once. I'm a little worried that the food's negative. Yeah, I'm a little worried the food's negative. Could always... Oh, that's the reason the food's negative. For some reason, our farm's not working at full speed. Because I don't got enough workers, because they didn't hire up fast enough. Yeah, that's fair. That should fix itself over a couple turns. We'll check back in once the construction sectors spool down. Oh, and I should play this militia project. Militancy trending up, so don't bother there. Militancy stable. Although it's at 95, so it's probably not worth dumping there. Declining rapidly. 8 points. The most I can get out of a militia project, I think, is 6. So if it's declining at a rate of 8, that's just too fast. Yeah, most I can get is 6. If it's declining at a rate of 8, that's just too fast. I'm not going to be able to fix that with that solution path. And I can't see how much is changing if it's at 0 and stable or 0 declining. You're 5. Militia enthusiasm's 46. Let's try one of these other zones. Let's try this one
Roger
specifically.
that.
Put 12 in there. It's showing as stable. And it might be stable. Okay. Let's play the militia project card there and see if that keeps it
I'm on it.
from falling back down. Okay, we cycle that turn. And one reason we want to keep the militancy high, if we can, is it's kind of required for your militia to modernize. At this point, our militia is so out of date, it can only fight the wildlife, it can't fight the other majors. But if we get some modernization going on, then it could potentially produce some troops capable of at least being a little bit of a roadblock to the other nation's troops. Okay, back around to us. It's round 104. We got 6 decisions. We know what one of them are because we triggered one of them. Okay, so we're now in a time for learning. For whatever reason, this planet seems to be bouncing back and forth between times of violence and times of learning. We've completed heavy industry. That's good. Maritime battle between nations. Hopefully that's not the one we just gave 4 ships to them, losing the 4 ships. That would be annoying. I do need to rebalance because we've just brought the Secret Service Council on board. Secret Service Council is not a council I prioritize very much, so I get like 10%. Yeah, we're gonna run something like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Eco Council. It's really tempting to do Sealed Road. But if I'm trying to dash to Metal Soil, I need 4 in Chemistry. We're working on the guided RPG, so we only need 1 more in Chemistry, so I think we're gonna do Hydroponics. This is also a water world, so we got plenty of water. So if I needed food, Hydroponics is not the worst of food choices.
Copy that.
Offering to buy IP. No.
Understood.
Also, we're enforcement, so we want the enforcement levels. Offering an advisor. Maybe it wasn't so expensive. Oh, and this is an advisor to a particular leader. No.
Yes, sir.
We're not going to succeed on this roll, so we're just going to
Affirmative.
accept. Makeshift port on our new landing site.
Copy that.
That should help with shipping over the next couple turns. Now, for the moment of truth, do we have enough capacity? Okay, we do, because of the bulk shipping, presumably on the food. We have enough. Okay. Okay, So we have contact with the people we've got as subjects. They are a protectorate. We're probably not going to be able to succeed in that role. Unification is going to be a hard ask. Yeah, unification is going to be a hard ask. Not an impossible ask, just hard. But in the meantime, we can pick on the rotors and the non-aligned, so we don't need to expand them right away. In fact, I probably want to secure their northern border against those groups before we unify with them. So definitely not much of a rush. And probably get the whole brigade across, at least. Which at the moment we're shipping one unit over at a time, so that's going to take a while. City's growing and stable, that's good. This city is growing. Could do it to be could want it to be better. Yeah, we need to add some more workers. Because 400 workers quit. The rest need to go into the civilian population.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
And that should actually be enough to get the civilian population capable of working all its buildings. That I just need to get the government buildings to be working properly. Food is doing better, probably because the capital has finished tiring up. Construction-wise, the rail station's done. Bureaucratic office was delayed again, 50%. Although at this point, I could imagine it being able to get up to speed. What was the issue? Oh, it was a bad roll. There's only 4% production penalty, and it failed the roll. That's fair. Okay, that's why it's 60%. Okay, and not. So yeah, we'll have everything deployed next turn probably. And the port was delayed. The port will be done in 2. So yeah, might want to be looking to expanding the food. I might also be able to just procrastinate. Oh, and we just need more civilian population in the capital. That's what's going on as well. We've hit full employment. Yeah, the solution in the capital might be hydroponics instead. Hydroponics is a little bit more worker efficient. The cost of it eating energy and water. A lot of energy and a lot of water. Anyway, we just got those 2 researching, so we'll get chemistry done pretty quickly, and then we'll be in metal soil filtration. And then cards, maritime trading house. Okay, no boat cards. Can't build them more boats. Definitely am very tempted to give them more boats.
Roger that.
Get some more credits in the bank in case we need to spend money to get them more boats. What type of counselor is my least happiest counselor? The governor. Here, have a metal American to your chest. So that makes you happier. Makes the next one the director of the Secret Service. Okay, no, not got enough for cabinet retreat. Cycling the turn. Once our current construction projects are done, we're going to be focusing on expanding the rail network, not necessarily building anything, I think. Well, unless I need to build more food. And we're waiting and watching. The rotors may become a problem. That's probably the area we're expecting the most interesting stuff to happen right now. Although I haven't necessarily been keeping the broad of the diplomacy going back and forth. We have 4 decisions on round 105. In that time of learning. Got another shipyard card, we'll probably play that. Got a victory pact, which we know that no one will probably accept. Yeah, we're still up in the 50s. They've definitely taken a minus 220 roll at us. Because they're a faction type that would actually like to start something. Okay, ship the next one across. Ah, I don't have the capacity to ship the next one across because we don't have enough shipping capacity. Well, boo.
Order received.
Focus on design. Yeah, we'll help the corporation.
Sir, yes, sir.
Appoint a governor for the new zone. Yeah, you're capped too. You'll grow into it, except
Roger that.
appropriately. Could do with a better one, but that's what we've got. Nomad traders are offering us ammunition. The rotors, I think, are classed as nomads. Is what's going on here. No, I didn't think we were touching nomads otherwise. Maybe the rotors are classed as nomads for the events. Yeah, because otherwise I don't share any borders with them. It's 161 credits. I see no reason not to say
Sir,
yes.
yes, sir.
I could tell them no, but we don't need to. And sometimes resisting the urge to not do things you don't have to do is fine. The population's still leaving. Dump all these workers in as workers.
Affirmative.
Oh, interesting. I don't have any good ways to raise worker or population happiness. I have ways to lure and arrest, but that's not what we need to do. Oh, and I should probably grab some
Roger that.
emergency leaders in case something goes wrong.
Roger that.
Anton Herding House. Shipyard. Give you more ships.
Copy that.
We gave them a whole 2 ships. But yeah, right now we got a contract out with Captain's Crew. We're getting 25% of what we're asking for. Due to missing logistical capacity on the far end of the transport line. Yeah, we're using, it's like 6 capacity to ship stuff. I'm surprised you didn't kick in, although you might kick in next turn. We'll give it another turn to see if that that actually applies the modifier that's supposed to. Because it's saying we're getting 0 port points on the far side, and we should be getting some. I think it should be providing about 400 if that's... 400? Is 400 or 200? 200. Should be providing 200. And 200 should be enough that we can actually move units across and start setting this zone up. Because that'll reduce it from 75 to less than 75 as a malice. And then, I think the rest of our construction products are going well. Both proceed at speed. Okay, so the port expansion on our end should be done. And the bureaucratic office should be done next turn. Is there any diplomacy cards on to play these guys? I could try with the trade, but I think that's a no. And they don't like us enough for anything. Okay. And yeah, the bribery cards get harder the more they like you, is how those work. Really desperate could still try to push one through, but we're not. We're not that desperate. I'm surprised these guys actually like us this much, but the blackmailers make total sense for disliking us. These guys are openly hostile. Okay. And weirdly, I wouldn't necessarily be all that aggrieved if they declared on us. I don't think they have anyone in this. Yeah, I don't think they have anyone in that pocket. They don't even have a port in here. I think they got their port accidentally nicked by the... or their landing site nicked by the slavers when they landed. Or it was up here. Not sure. Okay, back around to us. Round 106. We have 4 decisions. We've completed that medium tank. GR optics, that's tempting to do. Maritime Battle House. Okay. And there's more fighting, which is blowing up the ships I'm giving them, which is not ideal.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna do none here.
Yes, sir.
We might wait until we get like another corporate scientist or something. I'm gonna do none here as well. We either want to discover something or we want to get combat armor. New zone. You want probably some... Actually, no holding budget. Worker salary. I'll basically set the defaults here, which I usually do. 5, 15, 15. Obviously, no recruits or colonists. Allow regular... allow supplying units if shortfall. So if it's got something and the units need them and there's a delivery issue. Getting to the zone can do the delivery for it. And then confirm.
Roger that.
Worker happiness is up. Although there's no workers, so... Why the workers are happy is maybe a different question. That's not good. The zone shrank.
Affirmative.
Okay. I should check to see if the shipping line has shipping capacity. It does. In fact, I can get 2 across this turn, which is good. And that's due to the existing... Well, the makeshift port actually applying its effect this turn. Now, for the moment, I can't really wander all that far away from the dock, because we got no truck station. So I get the whole brigade across, and then we'll probably go about building a truck station. Making pretty good progress on the hydroponics and the guided. Oh, and I don't think we had a pop-up for discovering combat armor. I think this was spread to us through our science pact. That is good. Yeah, from a discovery standpoint, we've discovered what we want to discover. It is research, research, research. Orgs, military. You're running 80% research. Okay, I think that's appropriate balance. And then eco is even a little bit harsher, where it's 50 to 10. Probably explains why hydronics is rolling so fast. Construction, everything is now done. So the only thing really to do is rail lines. Where I want rail lines. So let's get the rail lines in. You can go to there. You can go to there. Obviously, those are the places that want to get built first. Those are city connections.
Affirmative.
Sir, yes, sir.
And then I will probably want to come and run a rail connection all the way down to here. And a railhead here, so the guys down here have exceptional supply. Personnel-wise, who's the least happy? Reserve pool member, okay. The reserve pool can be unhappy. Looks like the governor... Okay. Play one of each, I think will be the best way to go. Camp Nutri.
Roger that.
War Games.
Roger that.
Oh, and I do have the political power, or the fate points. Let's grab
Yes,
those
sir.
optics. Yeah, so now the grumpiest is the governors, because the governors weren't affected by either of those. That affect, obviously, the commanders. All the commanders went up, and affected the directors. So the directors went up. Governors and the reserve pool weren't affected, although the unhappiest of those is in the 60s, 70s, right? Governors are 70, the reserve pool members is low 63. Although we need the reserve pool to be like 50 plus, that's fine. Could definitely do with getting the housing tech. That's one way to solve the problem I'm having with the colonies, is just make the colonies better places to live by subsidized housing. Because what I'm running into right now is that the three main old cities all actually have some quality of life to living in them, whereas the colonies are colonies and are a bit bereft of such benefits, let's say. There we go. Adams Range Imperium, round 107. No losses, nor kills. We got 8 decisions awaiting us. Okay, that was good. I forgot about that demand. We did succeed at the demand. We've completed the guided RPG, so that's good as well. We like enforcement. Like enforcement and democracy, so we'll do the compromise. Here we want combat armor.
Understood.
No, I need my
Understood.
population. We're having population issues. I need my industry,
Yes,
so
sir.
you can't have
Roger
that.
sir.
Oh, that was population. Zero.
Come on in.
This is no to all these. We're just saying
Sir,
no.
yes, sir.
Can have money, but not my people and not my things. They want us to pay tribute. I have the money. Wouldn't also mind to have the fist. So pay double
Sir,
tribute.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Roger that.
Not group move, strategic move. And we'll take the HQ across. I don't think we have the logistical capacity necessarily to get the bunkers across. Oh, no, I got enough to get the bunkers across as well. Nice. The bunkers will actually make a nice city garrison.
Roger that. Roger that.
Here we go. Send over some workers to work the truck station. Well, build the truck station. We'll send some over to work it as well. And then these other zones are just going to have to deal, because I don't have the capacity to send them workers. Okay, those railheads proceeded terribly, probably due to... Well, they don't actually cost that much to construct, so I'm surprised. That was the issue with the workers, although in this case, this has got people just leaving. The struggles of having terrible population. And we are also going to shove a railhead up here
yes,
as
sir.
well.
Roger that, sir.
And that's all the connections we want right away. Anyway, we want that growing. Basically at full employment. You're basically at full employment. You're actually where most of our spare people are at.
Roger that.
Yeah, just looking at the hydroponics to get into here. Working combat armor, we'll get the design bureau, the model designer, doing infantry, then RPGs. We'll actually sort of skip a level and go straight to guided on the RPGs. As soon as we have combat armor, and then we'll do the machine guns after that. We'll have... Well, I suppose we'll basically do a round of everything that has infantry armor. Once we have combat armor researched. Then will be one short engineering. A bit of a shame we haven't discovered housing, because that would be a really good fourth for engineering. Although, if the combat armor gets done somehow before hydroponics, we'll probably do radiation filters for the fourth. Okay, around 108, we got 3 decisions. We've been offered an alliance. We did hit that enforcement target, so completing that demand. That's good. Corporate manager.
Affirmative.
Offering to buy population. We're still going to say no. The alliance is a little bit more tempting to say yes. Although that's basically telling me, hey, recruit a bunch of maritime trading house leaders. Specifically, and this is probably what I misread the last time I did this, is percentage of governors, directors, and SHQs. And I was giving these guys lots of jobs as brigade commanders, which is not what they wanted. I should just say no.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this pisses off a couple of my people. Which isn't ideal. But it is what it is. Okay, over here. You didn't finish. Okay. We're going to nationalize the port, which I think will make the port better. And then we're going to need a bunch more workers over here.
Roger that.
Yeah, in fact, that probably won't be enough workers, but that is fine. How's the rest of the construction going? Railhead done, delayed, and a delayed. Based on the percentages, I think this is delayed due to not having enough industry in the storage, so I should not add more construction for the moment. I'm surprised you were having an oil shipping problem. Or is that worker shipping? Might be worker shipping. Yeah, you were 800 workers short. That's fair. I did piss off one of the directors. Grab that manager, in case we wanted a manager. Let's take a look at that manager. Personnel. I'm gonna guess that you were the manager. Because you have no relations wing. Yeah, because no relations swing. The existing one should have had a relations wing. Also, you're the only one not associated with a party yet. So yeah, you're terrible. You're real terrible. Yeah, a little bit of leadership, that's it. You're so terrible.
Roger that.
Please go into retirement.
Roger that.
Here we go. Okay, we got a cap 3, and this is not a bad one if I need to put him anywhere else. There's also decent for military. Camp 2, got some admin, got some diplomacy. Not particularly great, but better than Cap 1. I don't need money right now, so we'll hold off the efficiency drive. Cabinet retreat? Yeah, let's cabinet retreat and war games. Make some of the members a little happier.
Roger that.
We did piss off the director of the staff council, so boosting the staff councilor's happiness is useful. That should have affected him. Okay, cycle our turn. Oh, looking at the time, I should put the part break in here. We're just a little over an hour. Things are moving. We're colonizing across an ocean. Okay, the front is static, but in a way we want the front to be static. If we're not fighting, we don't want it to be moving. And we're not necessarily in a good place to be fighting. We're not far away from a good place to be fighting, but we're not in a good place yet. When our current techs are done, I think at this point we'll have all the prerequisites we need to be discovering the next tier. So with combat armor done, we'll need polymer to get to heavy combat. Or polymer is in the group with metal soil filtration. So with hydroponics done, we'll have all the prerequisites to do polymer. So we'll have basically the ability to do polymer into heavy. And heavy is in the same tier with charge gauss, which is the next infantry weapon. So we're looking pretty good for quickly rolling. Basically one tier higher than where we saw the enemy when we fought them last. Now, granted, knowing my luck, that means they'll be there too, but that's where we'll be. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, we're going to take a short break here so I can get up, stretch the legs, sip some tea. I do have a full cup of tea, so it won't be a long break. It'll be like a 3-minute break. And then we'll be back to pick up at the bottom of round 109 in the next part. So until the next part, I wish you all the best of luck and good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.